up guys, welcome back, it's Matt here, and this is a $50 budget smartphone. So it's the Leagu Z5C. You've probably never heard of it before, and to be honest, I hadn't heard of it either, but all I knew was it's a super cheap phone, so let's go take a look at it. It's got a 1.3 GHz quad core, which is an ARM Cortex A7. Not too bad in terms of price. The speed is pretty good. You get just under 1 GB of RAM, so it doesn't really hold apps up in the background much. You hold about 2 or 3 apps and then it kind of loses them. The screen resolution is 480 by 854 with a PPI of 225, so really it's not great, but it looks okay from a distance, and viewing angles are just awful. Out the box, this phone comes with a weirdly skinned Android launcher. It doesn't have an app drawer, and the icons look like an iOS ripoff, so I'm really not a big fan of this, and I've actually went ahead and downloaded Nova Launcher. But going into the settings, I was actually surprised to see this is running 6.0 Marshmallow, and I expected it to run something a little bit older. But everything apart from the launcher is pretty stock on this device. Even the notification pull down, the camera, your gallery, everything is really stock. And overall, Nova Launcher runs pretty well on this device. It's pretty smooth, it has some hiccups time to time, and the viewing angles are really bad when you're looking at it from the side or down below or something. But if you're looking at it straight on, it's actually a pretty usable device. This is definitely not anywhere near the standards of something like a OnePlus smartphone, but it is $50, whereas they're around $350 or $400, so again, it's the price difference. This phone's fairly snappy, it opens things quite quickly for what it is. It's not as fast as something like an S8 or a OnePlus 5 or another new high-end Android smartphone, but it is usable and I actually am quite impressed by it. This phone is really good if you want to get your kids a phone, but you don't really want to worry about what they're going to do with it and whether they're going to break it or not. Simply because this is $50, it has a lot of uses that other higher end smartphones wouldn't really have. For example, you could use this as a backup phone or a work phone, or really just something if you're going on a trip somewhere and you don't want to break your high end smartphone. Or it could be pretty good for an older person that wants to get more into smartphones or newer technology. Wi-Fi speeds aren't the greatest, it gets around 14 down and about 11 up, but to be honest that's fairly usable, and when I'm web browsing it's really not a lot different to a higher speed. The back of the device is plastic and it kind of reminds me of the old Samsung devices where you'd snap off the back. You have a few slots there, so you have a dual SIM input as well as a micro SD card, so you can actually expand storage on this device, and you have your battery down below. So you could go buy another battery for this device, so you could switch it out when it's low, but it's 2300 mAh, not the greatest, but considering it's fairly low spec with low resolution, it works pretty good. The only thing I don't like is that the micro USB port to charge this device is at the top of the phone. Why? On the back you have a 5 megapixel camera. It says it's capable of 720p video, but really unless you're in direct sunlight, it's awful. It's really not usable. I mean, it's okay if you want to capture the moment to show someone something, but if you want to take some holiday photos or something like that, then really you need to go buy a higher end smartphone. This really is just for budget users, and to be honest, it isn't bad if you just want to show someone something on Messenger, but it's really not the greatest, especially the front camera. It's very zoomed in and you can't get a lot in the frame. On the right side you have the volume rocker as well as the power button. The power button is tiny, but to be honest it's actually pretty easy to find and it separates them quite well. They work really good, they're super tactile, and overall they're actually pretty good. Now the power button does have a slight delay to turn on the display, and that really does get me. It really annoys me sometimes because I'm really used to the S8 where it just pretty much instantly turns on. On the back you have a speaker, which is actually pretty loud. It's not the best quality, but there's no distortion or anything like that, and if you're watching YouTube videos and stuff, it actually sounds okay. Really, there's only stuff on the top and the right side of this phone. You only have a microphone on the bottom there, and most sides are just completely blank. As I said before, the screen viewing angles are pretty bad, and it can look really contrasted from above or whitewashed if you look at it from below. So unless you're looking at it direct, then it's no good. And to be honest, it's pretty unusable if you don't look at it straight on. In terms of the size, it's similar to something like an iPhone 6, and to be honest, it has kind of similar border size as well. So that's pretty much it guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Peace out guys.